contact. Have you made it to you? You want to get north or south of Bells Ferry? Okay, 10-4. 187, I'll be connected.
187, clear, 2135.
Charlie, do I saw him go through the Bells Ferry intersection? You might have taken Santa State back over to Bells Ferry South.
Cherokee 113, confirming we're going down Wabash. Clear. Cherokee K98, code 4.
I'm code 4, 10-18.
Code 4, Cherokee 181, code 4.
Code 4. Got a description of the motorcycle. Okay, I did not have a description. 113, did you have a visual?
It was kind of a blur when it passed me on weak green. I think it was white though.
White 5 sure, I'm code 8 to 80, so.
Clear, 2136.
180 is today.
113's today.
That's something I don't have to enclose with you.
You know what?
That's something I don't have to enclose with you because I wasn't writing anything.
So the motorcycle that ran from me on wagering right up here last night that I tracked from all of our cameras from this parking lot all the way to your apartment complex isn't you?
I literally get drove by my door.
Yesterday you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
I haven't. What time did you get to come to work yesterday?
Around 5-ish.
So here you were yesterday at 3:44, Wade Green southbound at the Cherokee County line coming to work. That's the same motorcycle that ran from me later that night.
I literally haven't looked your lab yet. I'm not familiar with the roads. I don't know what Cherokee inbound is, but I literally haven't looked your lab yet. And I don't have that book tab around me.
You're really going to make me have to go through all this work?
I'm telling you, that's not
Because the
me.
next time I'm doing it, I'm writing search warrants, I'm going to your house, and I'm going to raid the place. I'm going to find your book bag, I'm going to find your helmet. You really want to make me go through all of that? When you could just cut to the chase and we could settle this a lot easier and quicker?
Like
And
I
you
said,
probably get in a whole lot less trouble?
like I said, I did not write the record.
I just showed you a picture of you riding it here yesterday.
That's not me.
Just, come on. But again, I'm giving you this one opportunity to come clean about running from us last
I get how
night.
you're trying to do your job, but that's not me.
Alright, well I'm going to go to your house with some search warrants and I'm going to go find what I'm looking for. And I'm going to take an arrest warrant for you and you're going to go to prison.
Is it on?
Yeah. What you did last night is felony fleeing to eluding. And you have to go to jail, you have to go to prison for a year for that. So again, I'm trying to give you an out to where you don't have to go to prison for a whole year of your life.
I get how you're trying to do your job.
But if you're going to make me go through all this legwork, writing search warrants, finding evidence and stuff, you know,
I get how you're trying to do your job.
So you don't want to complain about running from me last night?
It's not riding my bike home. As I said, my girlfriend drives me to work.
So the pictures I just showed you of you riding your bike with those same exact shoes on isn't you?
Not
Literally the same exact shoes.
white shoes or white shoes.
No, they're Nike. Just like the guy in the picture on your bike.
Is Nike not the top brand?
Alright, cool man. I mean, That even looks like you. Straight up. I'll be in touch with him. What's number for you? Phone number? So I can call you when I have your warrant signed?
704-989-609.
I'll be in touch with him. Sure. One last chance so you don't go to prison for a year?
You can have it today.
What?
You can have it today.
Cool. We'll be in touch. Thanks. Thank you. Hey, sir. Sir, can I ask you one more thing?
Yeah.
Who was here last night working? Were you working last night? Do you know what kind of vehicle he came in left on?
No, all of this busy over here.
Y'all don't have any cameras that look out front, do you?
Right where you see it.
This is that.
Yeah, these are the closest everywhere.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Yeah, I straight up tell him, I'm like, look, my next steps will be going to your house with a search warrant to look for the helmet and the backpack. So, like,
When you house, you mean the apartment?
correct, the apartment, right.
His
I
residence.
didn't know which apartment I knew, like, the building. I had a general idea of which building they lived in at that point, but I didn't know which unit number yet.
Gotcha.
But, so, that was kind of just like throwing that out there, try to see if he'd kind of come off on it, maybe, but he wouldn't. So, that kind of ended that. The conversation's longer, but that was kind of the end of that. So the next step, I went back up to the apartment complex because now I just want to speak with other people that like know him and might tell me more about his motorcycle or stuff like that. So I went back up to the apartment complex. I was going to try to go knock on the door. I didn't know which door to knock on, but I was going to try to speak with the girlfriend Taylor again and kind of push her a little bit harder now since earlier she just told me no, and that was the end of that quick interaction. So when I got back, I was like surprised that her car wasn't there anymore. So I was like, oh, she must have gone somewhere after dropping him off. Interesting, and then coming home and then went somewhere else. Sorry. So she's not there. So I started just looking up, any kind of intel I could find out about him in all of our investigative tools, if you will. So, I'm looking at Peregrine to see his mother's house. I believe it's 921 Little River Lane. At this point, I'm curious, like, is the mom going to help me? Like, maybe she'll snitch on him. Maybe she'll tell me some information I need for my investigation, right? So, I find that information, and I'm like, cool, let me go over there and see if I can talk to mom. And I go over there to the house, and when I get to the house, I was like really surprised to find the girlfriend's car there.
Charlie 22 Alpha 93. I'll plug it check. 14.
Your call has been forwarded.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, good. I don't know if you remember me, do you? This has been a long time ago.
Yeah.
The kids broke into the concession stand over there at Hobgood.
Oh yeah, like 10 years ago.
I remember
yeah,
that. Yeah,
I do.
yeah. Like I said, it's been a while.
What's up?
So, I was trying to see about your son's motorcycle,
What about it?
like where it is, stuff like that.
Why?
So I'm investigating him running from me last night.
How do you know it was him that was running from you?
Like again, that's what I'm investigating.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying
Did you
to.
already talk to him?
Yeah, I talked to him at Papa John's. I'm
What'd
sure
he
he
say?
told you that, right?
Huh?
I'm sure.
We did.
Yeah.
We just picked him up. We were at Jumping World.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to find his motorcycle to.
Go get a warrant. We're not going to talk to you guys. He already told you. You know, he said he already talked to you.
Okay.
You know, at this point, you're harassing him.
No, not really.
I
I'm
mean,
just
he
trying
has-
to.
he
I don't
has-
want to wrongfully put people in jail that don't belong to be in jail. So
Right,
if he's
so-
got a legitimate, you know, if he can disprove my theory of what happened last night.
But see, that's
then
not his job. Your job is to prove the other way around.
Yeah, no, I absolutely have probable
If
cause.
you-
Like I said to him, I tracked him all the way from where he ran
Go get
to
a warrant.
me. I'm actually typing it right now.
Okay.
So
I would like
in just
you
a
to read-
second, I'll arrest him. So
Thank you.
Cool. Give me a second. I'll get it sworn out, and I'll be right back. Just make sure he stays here for a minute, okay? So there's no failures of justice.
Sorry, but unless he's under arrest right now, then don't ask me to do anything.
All right, I'll be right with you.
He's not asking any more questions. Please let him want an attorney. That's fine.
Art, come here.
I have a warrant from. Why are you like in my garage? Okay, well Chris is right here. He said he's not talking anymore. He wants a lawyer. I need everyone out of the house, please. No, show me a warrant. You're in the house? Show me a warrant.
Again,
Show me a warrant.
at this point, the house is being secured
Show me a warrant.
for search.
Show me a
I
warrant.
believe that there's contraband evidence of my
Show
crime
me a
inside
warrant.
this house.
Show me a
So I
warrant.
need this house cleared.
Show me a
I'll
warrant.
clear it myself.
No, you won't. I'll call the police on.
Out of the house. Everyone's detained.
Do you have a warrant? Do you have a warrant? This is being videotaped. I hope you know that. Do you have a warrant? I'm gonna call the police and I don't care. I'm gonna call the cops.
Everyone outside now.
What's your name and your badge number?
If you continue to
I have
obstruct me,
kids. I'm not obstructing you. I have small kids and dogs. Do you have a warrant?
if you continue to
Do you
obstruct
have
me,
a warrant?
you're going to be placed under
Do you
arrest
have
for
a
obstruction.
warrant?
Right now, I need everyone out of this house. Right now.
Yes, ma'am. Not
Under-
for what?
Obstruction.
I'm
You're
not. I'm on the phone
You're
with 911.
You're hindering My
You're
investigation.
scaring my son.
Again, everyone is detained.
I called the police to confirm that you had a warrant, and then you're arresting me.
Everyone is detained.
Put it on social media. Put it on social media.
Probable cause to believe that evidence.
Phone.
Anyone else in the house, make yourself known. Please exit.
I want my phone. No, give me my phone. No, give me my phone.
Sheriff's office, come on outside, please. Thank you. Come on outside.
No. Answer it. 911. Do officers need warrants to come into my home?
Yeah.
You guys are insane. In front of these kids. Yeah.
Hey, sir. Is everyone out of the house now?
What's your badge number? 885. Thank you.
All right.
Your sergeant.
I would ask that y'all stay on the porch here. The house is now right now.
No, he needs a warrant to come in.
Can you put her in the car?
Yeah, no, it's big.
Hey, no, don't.
I'm not answering this.
Calm down.
Yo, we're gonna deal with mom, but it's gonna be all right. Hey, take a deep breath. Deep breath. Calm down. Close your eyes. Calm down.
You entered the house without a search warrant?
Yeah.
Isn't that like against the law?
Nope.
You're 100% sure about that?
Yep.
You tell me why my mom was arrested?
Obstruction. She hindered me.
She injured you?
Hindered. Yep.
What does that mean?
She hindered me from doing my lawful duties.
Did you go inside the house? Or are you saying you didn't go inside the house?
Yeah, I went inside the house.
Did you show my mom the warrant or showed anybody the warrant?
Alright, dude, we're not talking about this right now.
After that one deputy put that my mom in the handcuffs, was he illegally allowed to go in the house like he did and then come back out before getting that warrant? Since I saw him have to issue it.
Yep. What we call a safety sweep. When we're going to search a residence, we can do a cursory safety sweep of the residence to make sure there's nobody else hiding inside. Can't search anything, we can just look for people. Once we know that the house is clear and there's nobody inside of it, then we can detain everybody and then go apply for a search warrant.
Do you have kids? A conscience, maybe? Because I don't know how you stand beside other people that you work with and you just go along with it and you stood there silent when I asked you that question in front of your boss. When you know it's on videotape, you know what actually happened. Fully intend to disclose it to the public.
What case?
And when the truth comes out that you guys did actually barge into my house without a warrant and you guys lied, I fully intend to turn around and come after your jobs and I will sue you.
The next time you hear a police department claim that an officer just needed more training after breaking the law, remember this video. Today, we are going to take a look at the official internal affairs interview transcript for Cherokee County Deputy Lisa Dean. The department tried to brush her actions under the rug as a minor, I think they called it, training issue, but the actual room tells a terrifyingly different story. We're talking about an officer who signed user agreements, knew the system, and explicitly admitted on tape that she committed a felony computer invasion of privacy simply to stalk her high-ranking girlfriend's ex-husband. Now, why does this matter to you? Because it proves that this department practices blatant selective enforcement. When you or I violate the law, we get handcuffs. In fact, this department just arrested a different deputy, actually 3 deputies, and threw the book at them for the exact same GCIC violation. But when you are a deputy sleeping with the department's brass, a 15-year felony is downgraded to a training issue and a paid vacation. You heard that, paid vacation. So let's look at the absolute proof that the rules change depending on who you are and who you are protecting.
Hi, Deputy Dean. Thank you for coming in today. I appreciate it. Hate that I had to hit you like that. Tell you to come in right away. Deputy, this is your copy. This is the accusation that was made by Major Pinion. It has you listed as a suspect officer. Mm-hmm. And this is the comments that you're going to want to make yourself familiar with. Let me know when you're done reading. Okay. This is your copy, and these are your employees' duties and rights during internal investigation. If you would, please, sign right there. This is just showing that you've read it, you are aware of it. Once you're done signing it, please date it February 17th, 2020. And this is Lieutenant Brown, Cherokee Sheriff's Office, Internal Affairs. I am in the Internal Affairs interview room with Deputy Lisa Dean. Today's date is the 17th of February 2020. The time is approximately 3:05 p.m. Okay, Deputy Dean, you've had a chance to read the accusation, did you not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the Internal Affairs Investigation memo. This is to inform you that an Internal Affairs investigation has been started in regards to a situation which was reported on February 14th, 2020. A copy of the allegation has been supplied to you for your information. I also have supplied you with a copy of the employee's duties and rights during the internal investigation. You are hereby ordered not to discuss this case with any person other than the Internal Affairs Office, Chief Deputy, Sheriff, or Legal Counsel. Any efforts on the contrary will be considered obstruction of this investigation and a violation of a direct order. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You would sign and date that one for me also. Thank you. This is the internal investigation warning, also known as Garrity. I wish to advise you that you're being questioned as part of an official investigation of the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. You'll be asked questions specifically directed and narrowly related to the performance of your official duties or fitness for office. You are entitled to all rights and privileges guaranteed by the laws and the constitutions of the state and the Constitution of the United States, including the right not to be compelled to incriminate yourself. I further wish to advise you that if you refuse to testify or to answer questions relating to the performance of your official duties or fitness for duty, you'll be subject to departmental charges which can result in your dismissal from the sheriff's office. If you do answer questions, neither your statements nor any information or evidence that is gained by reason of such statements can be used against you in any subsequent criminal proceeding. However, these statements may be used against you in relation to subsequent departmental charges. In addition to the above rights, you have the right to have counsel present during this questioning. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you would sign and date that one for me also. All right, Deputy. I understand that Thursday night was your last tour of duty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that was when I understand you met Lieutenant Ruiz?
For dinner?
Okay.
Yep.
If you would start from that point, when you spoke with Lieutenant Ruiz and how you guys decided to go out, if you would start from that point and tell me what took place.
Sure. We hadn't had dinner together. You know, it's possible to do it as long as I keep my radio on, of course. So I wanted to be something quick to eat, so we stopped at Chick-fil-A. It was right off of 20 on the oncoming highway.
Okay.
So, pulled in, and I realized her tag still said 2019. I know we had talked about it a long time ago, but I forgot about it.
Said what year?
Her tag still said 2019. We couldn't remember whether it was paid or not paid. So I was like, you know what? I punched it in. I wanted to make sure it was valid, so she can take care of it, right?
Okay.
So, punched it in, came back, and she peeked in and looked. She's like, why does it still say Jamil on there? I was like, that's weird, right? So I was like, why is his name attached to registration? Only it's registered owner of the vehicle, right? So didn't think anything of it. So we had dinner, and I had to run out right at the last minute to go to a call. And then it was around, I don't remember what time it was, like 3-something in the morning maybe. I was like, I wonder if his Tahoe says the same as hers, like as her name on his, not thinking anything of it. So I drove over there, punched it in, I was like, oh, it just says Jamil on it. Cool, no problem. That was it. That was the end of my process. There was no malicious intent behind it. There was nothing I
was trying to figure out why there would be.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a malicious person. I know they have their shit going on. I get it. I do my best to be the middleman, the third party when it comes to exchanging the kids. I don't talk to them any other time.
Let me stop you there.
Sure.
If you would, you're going in places where a lot of people won't be familiar if they heard this conversation without understanding what it is. So let's get to the basics of it. Lieutenant Ruiz, are you involved with her romantically?
Yes.
Okay,
Fiancé.
what's her fiance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you guys reside together?
Yes.
And who is this Jamel Campbell that you're referring to?
Ex-husband of her.
Okay. So if I got it right, you guys were going to have dinner at Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
Did she meet you at the restaurant?
Yes.
Okay.
She was already shopping over at TJ Maxx in the Cannon Marketplace area.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? We're quick,
Where did you guys go before you went to Chick-fil-A, as far as a place to go eat?
We tried the smoothie place across the street next to Dunkin'.
Okay.
Yep.
So you go there.
It was closed.
Gotcha.
Yep. They had just closed, and we're like, oh, crud.
So then you're following Irene in her personal vehicle?
Yes.
And what is that? What make
it's
and model?
a blue Highlander, Toyota.
Toyota Highlander.
I believe, yes.
Okay. And as you're driving behind her, or are you in front of her?
No, we had just, let me see. I think we were driving and I had punched it in. If I'm not mistaken, we were sitting at a red light. I can't remember exactly.
So then she was she was in front of you.
Yeah, she was in front of me.
Okay. You see it. You see the tag has a 2019 date. It's obviously February 2020. So what you do there is you go into the parking lot of Chick-fil-A, or did you start running it right then and there in the street?
I honestly don't remember. I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't remember. I know it was the time between us leaving the first parking lot and the second parking lot.
But you did mention that when you got to Chick-fil-A, she peeked in.
Yeah, I had...
So that makes me think that you're still sitting in the patrol car?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then she comes in, she peeks in, sees the name?
Yeah, I was like, hey, look, see, it says valid. I didn't notice her name until she's like, hey, that's Jamel's name. I was like, why is it, so I was wrong.
So it was under Jamel's birthday?
No, so
as far as the expiration?
When it ran, it came under, it was Irene Campbell, and then Irene Nicole Campbell, and then Jamel Anthony Campbell. Both of hers was first, then his.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
From what I can remember.
Were you upset seeing her ex-husband's name on the registration?
I wasn't really upset. It was more of what's it doing there kind of thing. I wasn't pissed. No, of course not. I was just more of a curiosity thing. Why is it still there? Because I thought remember saying that she had bought the vehicle herself. I don't remember her. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't remember him being on the registration, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
And What was her reaction to it? Was she upset that his name was on there? Was she upset that you ran her?
She wasn't upset. Like, she was just curious, like, oh, that's weird. Why is his name still on there? I think she had mentioned something about, like, hey, why did you run me? Like, I'm not sure about this, but I can't remember what she said exactly. She was more like, hey, what? You know, kind of thing. So I didn't think anything of it. Like, I really wasn't. Because I was like, I run tags all the time. You know, that's how I got taught in FTEP. Hey, let's, you know, run tags. I don't know what the, you know what I mean? That's how I got taught. I won't, you know what I'm saying? So, but
I understand that, but I think when your instructor, the field training officer, was telling you it's okay to run tags all the time, they don't want you running to family members, lovers, exes, things like that, because it brings a personal nature into the professional nature.
I understand.
You get that part?
I understand that now, yes.
Yeah. I bet you do.
Yeah. It was this, like, I did it, I'm sorry, it's absolutely never going to happen again, but...
Okay, very good. So you work, that happened, I think that was around 9 o'clock.
I don't remember the time, honestly. I'd have to go back through my call history and look. You got the CAD notes? Yeah.
Yeah, I got the whole bunch of
good
stuff here. There we go. $9:04.
Yeah, same.
So, okay. So you worked the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you want to drive over to her ex-husband's house?
So, I'll be honest, is that...
Please do.
No,
Don't
no.
lie to me.
No, I always say that. The kids live there. I care about them kids. So I frequently will do 92s zone patrols in that neighborhood. I'll check the subdivision, or not the subdivision, I'll check their cul-de-sac, make sure nothing's going on, because I care about the kids too, you know what I'm saying? So I'll make a loop sometimes, I'll go through the whole thing. I know there's other deputies that live there, so, you know.
That's cool.
I like being nosy of who's in, you know what I mean? That's just what I do. And so, when I got there, I was like, I got curious. It wasn't anything more of what it was. Wanted to see if her name popped on his too, and then they can take care of it.
You've heard of the statement, curiosity killed the cat?
Yes. I said the other day.
What's the purpose of doing it besides just your curiosity?
That was it.
That was it?
I promise. Like, there was no, oh my God, I'm not that kind of person. You know what I'm saying?
Did you stop in front of the house and run just one tag?
Yes.
Did you get out of the vehicle and run any other tags?
No, sir.
Have you ever ran a tag off of a situation like this, a person that you already knew, worked with, had relations with? Have you ever done anything like this before?
No. No. Honestly, I don't think I can think of anything other than tags on the street. You know what I mean? I've run them in subdivisions before. Like, I run one in their cul-de-sac before, wondering whose car is that, and it came back to someone on that street. I was like, cool, keep going.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. But have you ever gone to somebody's house specifically looking for a person's vehicle to see whose name was on it?
Not unless it was related to something with work that I can think of.
As far as your personal curiosity, did you ever use the system, the terminal system, to gather information?
Not honestly, unless it's work related. That's all I can think of. Honestly,
this is the only incident.
Yes, that I can.
Jamel Campbell's.
Yes.
What came back on his registration? Was it his as well as Irene's?
No, it was just his.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, that's something that she's going to have to take care of.
Yeah.
And how did you? Do you remember what mobile terminal system you used? Which computer you used? I understand there's 3 or 4 computers that you guys share at the
yeah, I know it's one of the laptops. I want to say it's. I never actually looked.
MC something.
Yeah, I don't remember the name. I never really paid attention to that. Honestly.
Okay. And how is it that you log in? You were on the mobile computer 12, I think, at that particular one.
Okay. I don't keep track of that. I just punch my stuff in, you know?
Okay. When I called the GBI, this morning, this is what they told me we had. Computer invasion.
Okay.
Go ahead and read that real quick. And I want you to read this. Read that out loud for me.
Any person convicted of the crime of computer theft, computer trespass, computer invasion of privacy, or computer forgery shall be fined not more than $50,000 or imprisoned for not more than 15 years or both.
That's all I need you to read. Do you understand that that's a felony?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand what the seriousness of the offense that you committed just because of the curiosity?
Yes, sir.
Are we going to have any more issues like this in the future with you?
Hell no.
Take a look at this. Tell me what you see here. What is this? Read it out loud.
Data communications information system.
And that's the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office user security agreement, isn't that?
Yeah.
And what do we have there at the bottom?
My signature.
Okay. When was that dated?
6/26. So clearly I didn't remember what was on this, and I majorly messed up.
Right.
So.
You got to remember that. You sign that. That's the first thing that we have people do is because in law enforcement, you're going to be around computers. You're going to have access to computers, criminal histories, things of that nature. And you got to remember, the reason we have policies is because this stuff has happened before. You're not the first one to do it. If I may.
Sure. Please.
There's also this one. And what do you see there?
Same thing.
The awareness statement. And that's from the Georgia Crime Information Center.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a duty as an agency to report this to the GBI because this is their user agreement that you signed. Right. So you're in violation of their user agreement. Right. That was the reason why I wanted to call them and ask them, hey, should this be a criminal or should this be more of an administrative? And they basically said it's up to you. And I said, let me do it as the admin because we've got people that really want to see you grow successfully here. But I now have to write a letter to them and basically put them on notice that you did this. And I want you to know why we're doing it. If we don't do this and we just tell you don't do it again, the Sheriff's Office can lose its entire agency-wide access to GCIC and CIC. So we have to take the steps to do it. And I also want to make you understand where this accusation came from. I've gotten some word that people are pointing a finger at Hannah Wallace, which is, or I guess it's Hannah Campbell now. She is the one that's married to Jamel Campbell. And there seems to be a lot of people thinking that she's the one that put this accusation out against you, and I want you to know that's false. This accusation came from the brass over here down the admin hallway.
So how'd they find out about it? I'm just curious.
What I was told is Lieutenant Ruiz brought this to her supervisor's attention. They in turn brought it to Major Pinion's attention. And from there, Hannah was called into the office. And she was told, she was given a direct order, tell me what happened. So she was forced to tell her. She did not want you, Campbell, or Irene, anyone to get in trouble. Mm-hmm. She just wanted to know why you were going past her house.
Sure.
So she was brought into her sergeant's office and was told to explain what took place. Therefore, she did. That's why the accusation was made by Tommy Pinion, Major. So it really wasn't from Hannah. I want you to understand that. Because I'm afraid that there might be some ill will down the road. You're just going to have to
There's already a bunch of bullshit, and so it's like, it is what it is.
Okay. So, it's never happened before. Excuse me.
Sure.
Yeah. That's okay as long as they have an ID, Sheriff's Office ID or in uniform, they'll accept it. Bye. So it never happened before until this particular time. When did you get released from the FTAP? When did you get cut loose?
I want to say January 10th.
Okay.
I think that was a Friday. I showed up for work that long weekend.
Okay. At this time, I am going to be placing you on administrative leave with pay. And you said that what did you bring with you?
Everything is in my car.
Weapons,
Yep.
IDs?
Trunk.
Okay.
IDs are in my pocket.
Okay.
Does it matter if the gun is, like, personally bought by me, or does it matter? I just want to know,
No,
because I wasn't sure.
I want whatever weapons Cherokee County Sheriff's Office owns.
Okay.
I-
So then I'll take the gun back home then?
So the gun that you
I bought
use
it.
on the road, it's your own personal
Yes,
one?
Yes.
Okay, that's going to be your own
So
weapon,
then-
and you can take it home.
Do you want to, like, take all the bullets
Did
out
we
of it?
did we give you extra magazines or anything like
I
that?
have
A
one
taser? Do you
one-
have a taser?
Yes.
Do you have that with you
I have
too?
the whole duty belt if you want it.
Okay.
I'd rather you can just take it, it's whatever.
Okay.
I got extra guns at home for whatever.
If you want me to take your duty, I really don't want to take your weapon if it's not ours.
Okay.
So we'll let you keep that.
Do you want
But the
bullets?
magazines, yep, I would want the bullets that
Then
we've
just,
issued
then
you.
just take it all. I'm not going to unload all the mags.
Whatever
It's
you
easier.
want. Okay.
That's whatever.
This is to inform you that an administrative investigation has been initiated related to a code of conduct violation involving your conduct. A copy of the allegation has been supplied to you. I also have supplied you employees' duties and rights during internal investigations. You are hereby ordered not to discuss this case with any person other than the Internal Affairs Office, Chief Deputy Sheriff, myself, or legal counsel. Any efforts on the contrary will be considered obstruction of this investigation and violation of a direct order. You are placed on administrative leave with pay pending the results of this investigation. You will be available to the Internal Affairs Office from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. That's both by phone call or if I ask you to come in.
Okay.
Okay? Sign and date that for me. Thank you. All right, why don't you give me what you have?
That's all I'm trying.
You said you had some IDs.
Oh. The credentials and the...
Okay, you got your wallet badge. Is the uniform badge in the vehicle?
Oh, shit, I didn't think about that. Oh, fuck.
Hold on to it. Don't
I
use
can
it.
have Irene bring it in to you tomorrow
Do
if that's
that.
what you want.
Okay,
Yeah,
do that.
I totally forgot about
Yeah,
that one. I
don't
really
worry
wasn't
about it.
thinking about it.
Um,
I'm not going to go out there trying to, like, be popo anyway.
I know that. I don't think that you would.
No, heck no.
Okay. Let me have the keys to your vehicle. Where did you park?
If you go out the building, like, park, like, it's in
Are you
the park-
parked near the sheriff?
No,
Where-
heck,
sheriff?
no, not his parking lot. If you go out of out of this building right here and take a left,
Okay.
it's in the front parking lot, but like 3 or 4 cars from the end.
Okay.
It's not hard to find.
I really don't want to take your personal weapon. I'm gonna.
I mean, so do you want to put, like, 'cause I have all my gear in there
You know
too.
what,
Do you want to put it all in the trunk? Like, just take it out of the front seat? and
No,
put it
no.
in the trunk?
What I'll do is I will take your personal weapon because I don't want to hand you a weapon that's not holstered. So I'll take it for safekeeping.
It's not a big deal.
Your taser, everything's on the duty belt.
Yes.
Okay. If you would, stay here for me. And
Yeah, just
I'll
pop
be
the
back.
trunk. All my other stuff, if you need anything, it's in the front seat and then the back seat.
all I'm really
Or
looking for
the weapon stuff.
is the weapons and IDs, all your gear and everything like that.
Is it
I
gonna
don't
stay in that
foresee
parking
this
lot?
lasting long. So my hope is just to be able to give you everything back nice and simple.
Is the car gonna stay in the parking lot? Or are you gonna move it somewhere?
I'm gonna move it, secure it in the back.
Okay, cool. Cool.
All right, give me a second.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there anything else that you need to add? Anything that you need to tell me that I did not ask that would be beneficial towards this investigation?
Not that I could think of.
Okay. The time now is 3:32 p.m. and this will conclude the interview.
That is what institutional protection looks like, and it should terrify every single citizen living in this county. When a police department treats state intelligence databases like a personal playground to stalk and or spy, it directly compromises public safety. But the real danger is going to be the double standard. By arresting 3 deputies over here while protecting another for the exact same crime, the administration at the sheriff's office is admitting that justice here isn't blind. It's completely selective. Who cares about policy, right? They choose who to protect and they choose who to destroy. This is exactly why independent oversight is non-existent here. The department actively decides who the law applies to and who it doesn't. If you want to help me keep buying open records and pulling these transcripts and bringing this type of selective enforcement to light and the things that they push under the table, please check out the link in the description to support the channel and buy me some coffee. Make sure to like, comment your thoughts on this double standard right here and share it with your friends. Put this video everywhere, especially in Cherokee County, so they can't hide it. And I'll see you in the next investigation. Bye.
Are you involved? No? Alright. Is he okay?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll be good. As soon as you get the ambulance here, we'll be able to load him up and go.
Was it just him?
Yep.
Okay. Does he remember what happened?
The bike just slid out from under him.
Okay. 180. It's gonna be a single motorcycle accident.
Wait on the ambulance to get here, alright?
One 1028. It's gonna be out of North Carolina, 9 Kilo 5 725, 9K5 725. It's gonna be a white Suzuki. Where you guys taking him? Kettlestown?
They probably will go to Kettlestown.
Yeah, I'm just.
Just so we can get that ambulance up here.
I got it shot down over there, so.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and start next to 75 for a motorcycle. Did he have any ID on him?
He comes to squad. Can't get his book bag. I set it by his stuff up there. After we load him, just let him get
Hey, brother. Is your ID in your backpack? Or is it in your wallet?
It's in my wallet, in my backpack.
In your back pocket? Okay.
It's in the top front.
Back on the backpack? Okay. Yep. And I got his wallet right here. 188, 1027.
Machine gun.
188, 1027.
everything looks
Charlie 3, Charlie 7, 743.
ID?
Yeah, I got it right here. Sorry, I'm gonna slide it. Sorry.
Good and dilated. How fast were you going, bud?
Yeah, like 20.
Okay. Lose consciousness?
No, it's almost as hard for me to remember what actually happened. I just know it slid out from under me.
Okay. Where you hurting the most?
My right shoulder.
Okay. Tennis done good?
Yeah.
Alright.
Sir, can I see this arm?
Yeah.
I think the officer here has a couple questions for you. If you don't
Yeah, just
mind.
kind of, if you can tell me. I know you just saw him, but can you just tell me what happened?
Not really.
Is your address good on your license?
What address is it?
Water's Edge Road.
Yeah, you can use that one. It's so weird how you can't remember really anything.
Did anyone else hit you, or did you just slid?
I slid.
Big stick, ready? 1, 2, 3.
My bike okay?
And probably just some fairings, but
Yeah.
the 600s are plastics. They're pretty cheap.
That's the side here.
Yeah. It's okay. I wrecked mine on Blood Mountain too. I did the same thing.
Your call has been forwarded to voice.
Can't even remember really what happened.
Yeah, what's a good phone number for you?
706-506-3068.
Alright, I'll give you that arm back.
What kind of medical history do you have, bud?
I don't take medications.
No. Allergies?
No.
Okay.
188 case number.
I'm going to the hospital. Correct.
Right.
Correct.
You got to a wreck.
I'm fine though, dude. I just slid out.
Huh?
The bike slid out from under me. Right outside the apartments.
Are you okay?
It's kind of hazy to remember exactly what happened. I'm sure that the bike just slid out from under me.
Where were you doing? Turning?
Yeah, just right when I left the apartment.
Once we get those on, we're good.
Sugar's
Time to
120.
get rid of the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Those fire probably know your brother. I think they were the ones that took your brother's.
Sorry. Alright, can you call the other for me?
Yeah.
Any reason why you think your registration is revoked out of North Carolina?
That's where I live.
It says your registration is revoked. Like, you got insurance on the bike, but I guess if you need to check with North Carolina with that registration. It says it's revoked. I don't know why.
Alright.
How long did you buy that bike?
I've had it for about a year now.
Okay. You don't have a motorcycle license either. Alright, that's a problem.
My motorcycle, I have a permit in my wallet.
I'll check the returns, because the license you gave me is a permit, and then you said you have a motorcycle permit?
Yeah.
Is it still valid?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll double check that. If not, I'll follow up with you later. Alright. Good luck, man. Have a better day.
Yes, sir. Can you put the bike off the road here? Since I said it wasn't serious. Yeah.
If you want to start looking into that, I'll sit there and sit there with them.
I appreciate it. I mean,
Class CP.
I find this verse so comforting, and yet when I read something today, it was said to have been the most comforting verse of the entire Bible.
out down the road for you.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get it open.
Charlie, where do you want to be trying to reach him on something? 6 months.
Where is he headed? Where are you all taking him? The bike in there. When they take off, we'll just put a car right here. We'll open up one lane.
Okay. I mean, really, we could even push it a little farther and just pull a car up in the Sitco and wait on them. Get it completely open.
You want to try to do that? Since we standing here? Want to steer it? I'll push. Ready?
Right here, dude.
Yep. I'm happy with that. Yep.
You don't have a motorcycle license, right? That's funny.
I'm a motorcycle. I have a permit on my wallet.
I'll check the returns. If the license you gave me is a permit, so motorcycle permit?
Yeah.
It's still valid?
Yeah.
I'll double check that. If not, I'll follow up with you later. Alright. Good luck, man.
Are y'all leaving? Awesome. If you want to start looking into that, I'll sit at the Sitco with or wait for the record. Yeah, Class CP. Yeah, I mean, you can see the marks. Yeah. I mean, there wasn't no 20. He's got 75 feet of marks. Because you can't drive at night with that, can you?
No.
My family, all of the things around me to be right. He's like, but what happened is my world all of a sudden got wrong. I lost friendships, had troubles in my family because I made
Charlie
a
through
decision
Cherokee.
that was irregular to those around me. Yeah. So when he paid the Psalm 23, he's like,
At the 85, no, we're in the Sitco gas station parking lot. Bells Ferry southbound is back open.
now I'm lacking everything. It comes with time, but we then learned that this life is full of trouble. Sure. Which is why when he first read Psalm 23, he was confused. Now, years later, he's like, I look back and see that it's comforting. Because in the midst of trouble, in the midst of worry and doubt, in the midst of the darkest valley, we have nothing to fear. Why? Because God is with us.
I think that's one of the biggest misunderstandings, especially when you're doing your faith. You think, hey, God, fix it all. You're going to fix it all. And that is never his promise. He actually says you're going to go through a really hard time, but he does promise that he will be with us when we're walking.
What kind of injuries have we got, guys?
Just neck pain, head pain, shoulder pain.
Nothing serious?
Nah.
All
We're
right.
just gonna move the bike out of the road for you.
Yeah, and we'll get it open.
They take off.
We'll get it open.
Put a car right here and we'll open up one lane.
Really, we could even push it a little farther and just pull a car up in the Sitco and wait on them. Get it completely open.
Want to try to do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Right here's good. And then we'll just put a car up in Sitco and we pushed the bike off the road here since they said it wasn't serious.
If you want to start looking into that, I'll sit at the Sitco with the Lincoln record. Class CP.
Well, I think he's had like serious misconduct. And then he gave me a permit. And then he told the fire guy, hey, yeah, I was like doing like 20 and slid. And then I was like, hey, can you tell me what happened? I'd rather not. So I think he came from the fire.
You can see the marks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Is that a motorcycle permit?
I'm about to check the returns.
No.
No. So we might just get some tickets. Check off in.
Sorry. 85, now we're in the Sitco gas station parking lot. Those are south by the cycle.
Well, he does have an MP, but he's still in violation, isn't he? Because he can't drive at night. No. Expired February 27th. Dude, I'd load his freaking boat, dude. Especially if he's trying to play this game of I'm not going to tell you nothing. I'd write him every dang citation I could. How old is he? 2004, so he's 22? Yeah. You say what? Oh yeah. Email or text Canavos. I bet he can look it up real quick. They don't come in till 8. You gonna find it yourself? The registration doesn't come back to him, does it? The registration, does it come back to him? He's got valid insurance.
Since God knows everything, it doesn't need to be more complicated than that. But in Psalm 37:5, we're reminded that there are some expectations of us as believers. Commit everything you do to the Lord.
I hate reading out-of-state registrations.
It's really just that simple. I'm Scott.
What was his name?
First of the day on K-Love.
Well, then, if that's the case, you can also hit him for failure to obtain a Georgia tag. Because it has the purchase date on here, if I recall correctly, is 7/16 of 25. Where does it say that? Oh yeah. Dude, this dude is royally screwed, man. So you got driving while unlicensed. Hang on a second.
In Psalm 23, he was confused. Now, years later, it's like I can look back and see that it's comforting. Because in the midst of trouble, in the midst of worry and doubt, in the midst of the darkest valley, we have nothing to fear. Why? Because God is with us.
I think that's one of the biggest misunderstandings, especially when you're new to your faith. You think, hey, God, fix it all. You're going to fix it all. And that is never his promise. He actually says you're going to go through a really hard time, but he does promise that he will be with us when we're walking through it.
So no matter what darkest valley you are feeling today, maybe even after this weekend, you were just filled with fear and worry and doubt and questions like, God, what is going on? Those doubts are okay. Those worries, you can give them to God. Because as we walk through whatever valley we are in, we don't do it alone. As Christians, we know that our good shepherd walks with us.
Need prayer?
Yes, please.
Yes. Caleb.com is available 24/7 because problems don't wait for business hours. You post a request and a community of real people start praying.
Oh, he does have an MP, but he's still in violation, isn't he? Because he can't drive at night.
MP still valid?
No. Expired February 27th.
Sucks for him.
Dude, I'd load his freaking boat, dude. Especially if he's trying to play this game if I'm not going to tell you nothing. I'd write him every dang citation I could.
I may just fucking hit you with one if you're trying to push him in the hospital.
How old is he? 2004, so he's 22? Yeah.
How much is it? find this video.
You said what?
I just want to find this video because there's cameras over here.
Oh yeah. Email or text Canavos. I bet he can look it up real quick.
Are they already working?
They normally don't come in till 8. You gonna find it yourself?
Yeah. I like doing my own stuff.
The registration doesn't come back to him, does it?
The what?
The registration, does it come back to him?
They said something about remote, so he's got no registration.
He's got valid insurance.
Since God knows everything, it doesn't need to be more complicated than that. But in Psalm 37:5, we're reminded that there are some expectations of us as believers. Commit everything you do to the Lord.
I hate reading out-of-state registrations.
It's really just that simple.
What was his name? Well, then, if that's the case, you can also hit him for failure to obtain a Georgia tag. Because it has the purchase date on here, if I recall correctly, is 7/16 of 25.
Yeah, he said he bought it about a year ago. But it says that it's revoked. So it's got
Where's it say that?
When you look down, it says registration status detail revoked.
Oh, yeah. Dude, this dude is royally screwed, man.
Yeah.
So you got driving while unlicensed. Hang on a second.
Hey, Joseph.
Howdy.
Hey, what's going on, man?
You're the guy I was talking to in the ambulance?
Yeah. How you feeling?
Could be better.
Could be better. All right. Your motorcycle went to A's. I'm gonna ride in the back of my car over here.
What were you saying about the license plate?
So your registration is revoked.
849 Cherokee.
Out of North Carolina. That's gonna be something you're gonna have to figure out with them, okay?
Revoked means as like it's not
So you don't have a registration. I don't know what that means because it's North Carolina.
which is weird because I like.
When did you
don't
get
need
that?
September. So I haven't even had it for a year.
Okay.
And I remember having, when I first had the bike, I had issues with the license plates that I transferred from my previous bike, and I transferred it over, and that didn't work, so I had DMV send me another license plate. They sent me another license plate, which is a license plate I have on my bike now.
Have you ever?
I needed a license plate before I even got full coverage insurance, so that's how I got insurance on the bike.
Okay.
The license plates.
I can tell you, anything that's similar to Georgia, usually they'll suspend your registration. Like if you take off insurance and you switch insurance companies, usually like if you don't have one already in place and you cancel your insurance and then you go shop around, that insurance company will notify the company, or not the company, but the DMV, and then they'll
contact the DMV.
So,
I mean, that's fine.
I don't know. Like that's something between you and North Carolina. I don't know what the issue is. All I see there is that it's revoked. So you're gonna have to call the tag office.
Which is weird because I've had many police officers like read my tag when I've called, because I had many incidents of like at the apartments where the cops had to come and look at my tag and then pull it up.
Like I said, I have no idea when that happened.
Right.
It could be something that happened recently.
At least I'm not gonna be riding it anytime soon, so
Okay.
I'll try to get it fixed.
Okay, and then your motorcycle permit, it is expired. Okay, it expired on Friday. I'm not gonna write you for no license, but I'm gonna write you for a driver with expired driver's license. Okay. All you have to do is, if you get your driver's license reinstated with the motorcycle, I guess you have to go back and take the test, or do whatever test. Because with the permit, they give you like, I don't know what the. I don't ride a motorcycle, so I don't know what the stipulation.
90 days or
Okay.
something like that.
So I'm issuing you 2 citations. Okay? One's gonna be for the registration, and the other one's gonna be for the expired driver's license. Okay.
Alright.
You can go to court for this, and what I would encourage for you to do is take care of this. 2 things, like call North Carolina as soon as you get out of here, figure out what's going on, get your driver's license back in place with the
Could you write
motorcycle.
like step-by-step instructions? Because I'm not going to really remember this conversation.
I'm gonna write in the back of the ticket, just fix registration and license, okay? Because if you fix these, and if you want to go to court and you show that you fix it, they
I think
may
the permit all I have to do is go to the DMV and they just give me another.
Yeah, I think you have to take
the test
Yeah.
on the computer. And when's the court date?
I don't have a court date for you because
They'll be contacting me.
yeah, since COVID they stopped. There's gonna be a phone number halfway down the ticket on your copy. Just call that ticket. Give it about 2 weeks, because that's about the time this takes to get to the courthouse. Okay.
It's about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Call it. Okay.
And if the court needs to get in touch with you, they're gonna send you whatever on the mail to that address on Water Edge Drive.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good address for you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna give my business card over here. All right. I know you said your right hand is messed up. Are you able to sign?
Yeah, I can sign.
Okay. So you're gonna sign up here on this one. Signing this, you're not admitting to anything. As you said, and serve you the copy of the
Right here?
citation. Okay. Yep. And then let me take this out, and then you're gonna do the same right here. This is gonna be for the registration. Like I said, it just says revoke. Just call North Carolina. And I wrote back here, this is my card, and back here is, I put right there, fixed registration and license. I think that'll kind of give you an idea of what's going on. Ace Towing is where your motorcycle is. I think we told your girlfriend that she showed up at the gas station.
Is that place expensive to get the bike out?
I have no idea. Yeah. Normally, most companies will run from like $175 to like $300 or more, depending on how long it's there.
So far, so good. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. I'm
far,
about to.
so far, so good.
It's a little sore up there.
Oh, I know. I mean, you wrecked your bike. So, but it doesn't look like you broke your neck. Doesn't look like you cracked your head. We looked at the X-rays of your shoulder and chest. We don't see anything, but we're waiting on the formal report from the radiologist. If they say it's all okay, we'll get you out of here. We'll get your prescriptions for muscle relaxers, some ibuprofen. You're gonna be pretty stiff and sore the next couple of days.
What about dizziness?
Yeah, that might be from hitting your head, a little concussive syndrome. So we'll get you some information on how to deal with that.
I have a chiropractor that deals with it.
Okay, well, but I'd still, I'm not a big chiropractor guy because I see people who get their necks broken and bad things from them. So but I'm just saying that you'll be stiff and sore. We're just going to get that final report. We'll get you the concussion information, the sprains and strains information. And if all that's okay, we'll get the discharge back.
All right, thank you.
All right, very good.
Do you have a primary care provider?
No.
Okay. Do you want us to refer you to primary care like around here so that you can follow up within like 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, we'll give that to you, so you've got it. I mean, if you need
Yeah,
it,
you can
got
give it to me.
Yeah, they can help you with like some of this concussion follow-up stuff, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no worries. I left your 2 copies right here. If you have any questions, my name is on that card. My email is there. Feel free to send me an email. Or if you call the phone number, just ask for me and they'll page me.
All right, appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Hope you have a better day, okay?
Thank you.
Yep. All right. I think your girlfriend may have taken your helmet.
Yeah, she took it.
Okay.
She came here, we talked, she took the helmet.
I just couldn't remember if we took it on scene or not.
Right.
But they just wanted to get you out of there.
Appreciate you.
All right, man. Be safe, okay?
You as well.
All right.
Securing the house.
Show me a warrant.
Again,
Show me a warrant.
at this point, the house is being secured
Show me a warrant.
for a search warrant.
Show me a warrant.
Because I believe that there's contraband evidence of my
Show
crime
me a
inside this
warrant.
house.
Show me a
So I
warrant.
need this house cleared.
Show me a
Okay,
warrant.
I'll clear it myself.
No, you won't. I'll call the police on you. I have dogs
Hey,
in my
come on out of the house.
No.
Everyone's detained. Come
Do
on.
you have a
Come on
warrant?
out.
Do you
Come on
have
out.
a warrant? Being videotaped.
Again.
I hope you know that.
Again. At this
Do you
point,
have a warrant? I'm going to
this
call the
residence
police
is being
and I don't
secured.
care. I'm going to call the
Come
cops.
on, everyone outside
No.
now.
What's your name and your badge number?
If you continue to
I have
obstruct me,
kids. I'm not obstructing
you're
you.
gonna
I have small kids and dogs.
If you continue
Do you
to
have a
obstruct
warrant?
me, if you continue to
Do you
obstruct
have
me,
a warrant?
you're going to be placed under
Do
arrest
you
for
have a
obstruction.
warrant?
Right now, I need everyone out of this house right now.
Yes, ma'am. 921
You're under
Little River. For what?
You're hindering my. You're hindering
Let me.
my
You're
investigation.
scaring my son.
Again, everyone is detained.
I called the police to confirm if you had a warrant and you're arresting me? Like that, whatever it is that he's looking for. My garage door's open. That officer right there was down there with his flashlight. We just got back from Jumping World. I picked up my son. He works at Papa John's right beside it.
Yep, we're looking for a cell phone. That's what we're after.
Well, he didn't say that. Nobody said anything. I don't know anything about a cell phone. All I know is he went to barge into the house, and I had 2 dogs and kids. I didn't want my dogs to get shot. I didn't know how they were going to act. My kids were freaking out. And I felt like as the homeowner, I had a right to ask if he needed a warrant to come into my house. He literally barged into it. Is he allowed to do that?
Okay, as I explained to you before, my understanding of the version of events that happened is not what you're describing. So,
Did you ask everybody?
he explained to me before I came over here to talk with you,
Who explained to you?
the officer that placed you under arrest.
The one that is standing down there? 'Cause that's the one that placed me under the arrest, not that one.
I understand.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
Okay, well, as I said before, there's body camera that can be reviewed. I wasn't here,
Well,
so
I
I
would
can't tell
love
you.
for you to just pull it up right now and see that I'm being wrongfully arrested because that's not what happened.
I don't have the opportunity to do that because he's still wearing it right now. It's still recording.
No, but I have it on my Ring camera. My other son was videotaping the entire thing.
Okay. And we'll have an opportunity to review that.
That's crazy. This is crazy.
Now, right here.
I don't have the right to ask if you need a warrant to come into my home.
Sure, but that's not my understanding of how things happen.
It's videotaped. Yes, and I was videotaped. I have a camera on my front porch. And my son can. Well, sir, you were there. Did I not ask and did I not call 911?
There was a white male with blonde hair and a female in the grass.
Sir, why do you treat people that way? Like, I don't understand that. I'm 40 years old. I work in healthcare. I would never fully intend to disclose all of it because this is absolutely insane. I did not do anything, and this is my home, and these are my small children.
Okay. So,
I literally, why do you think I called 911? Because they wouldn't answer me about the warrant. So I called 911 to ask the 911 operator if the officers needed warrants to come into my home because that's what your officer did.
All right. Any other questions for me?
No, but
All right. Watch your feet.
can you just take me then if you're taking me?
We're going to take you.
So I secured the house. In the process of securing said house, Mom was not letting me in the house. I gave her multiple opportunities to stop hindering my investigation. She refused. She's under arrest for obstruction. I already got an arrest warrant for my offender. He's already in jail or in my car under arrest with said warrant. So now I just need to get a search warrant to find his phone in the house. So that's where we're at right now. The house is secured. There's no one else in there. We need to get a paper. Okay. So, or I can print it remotely to a precinct and have one of our guys bring it to us. I'll probably do that.
If you can see not just run a bridge mill, print the bridge mill, I'll just go grab it. We'll correct it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool.
I'll hang out. Yep.
Coyote Chair. I'm out on Little River Line. Hard. So she wasn't letting me in the house?
Bill's told, basically told her she's securing the house and everybody needs to come out. And she's like, well, I'm not coming out.
I'm trying to turn the light back off. I'm on the wrong button is the problem.
No, he 10-15 him, and then there's something in the house from that he wanted that they weren't giving up, so he's securing the house and getting search warrant for the house. Okay.
So she wouldn't let me go in the house?
Copy. We're gonna do another one after this. Apartment? Mm-hmm.
Check it outside for you.
But he's got to get the address from the apartment. And then we might do a third one after that. Like, so we still haven't found the body.
I know what you keep looking at me.
I'll drink it.
You're looking at me, but you're thinking.
188.
Is that another joke? No, that was actually you listening looking at me. I mean,
just saw your big nose pointing at me.
If you want to be, like my wife and just make something out of nothing.
I've been studying those skills.
Archaeology.
All right, let me turn this back off now.
2160.
Okay. Oh man. Watch your step. Yes. Lots of them. Oh, there goes another one.
Man, I have zero idea. I don't know what it looks like. iPhone, Android, 8, something. It's called. Search warrant.
Dogs.
I'm gonna get the one dog at least.
I'll get them both. I'll bring them out. They're cool.
Junior Bravo 6.
Hi guys, it is me. When I first came to the internet and started talking about what happened to me at the hands of a Cherokee County Sheriff's Deputy, Corporal Mills, I started getting bombarded with messages from all sorts of people just telling me their different experiences or information that they had heard, whatever it might be, right? So I started hearing about some like pretty serious, what I think are serious incidents and allegations about some officers. And so I did file some open records. Some of the officers actually are listed as witnesses on either my current case or even my son's case or both of them. So now I have the long awaited documents for internal affairs on Jack Fullenwender. And I think that's how you say his name. If I butchered it, I'm sorry. Probably butcher it more. It had been reported to me by numerous people that he had a use of force incident where he was demoted but not criminally charged in Georgia. And so the suspect was actually restrained. And I just feel like this officer likely should have been charged with some sort of aggravated battery based on what the law reads, but he wasn't, So just like Corporal Mills didn't go down for his drinking and driving, the open container that was sustained with the department. This is just one of many stories and incidents that we are uncovering. And I feel like it is important for people to know transparency for the community it just shouldn't be swept under the rug by the department or by Frank Reynolds. Our sheriff should have more transparency and not selective. So I'm going to share my screen super quick. So give me just a minute. Let's see. Let's share screen. Okay. So let's look at what the state received. This is a formal notice of post sent to Frank Reynolds. State Post Council had initiated this because Jack Fullenwender was disciplined with a disciplinary demotion while actively employed as a deputy sheriff. And he was employed with the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department. So let me pull this back because I started to do this last night, but we had a lot of stuff going on. And I kind of just want to read over some of it with you. Let's see. All right, so let's start here. Notice of post investigation. So I'm just going to kind of like read through some of this with you, and I will be linking any internal affairs documents or any documents really that I'm able to obtain from the department, because like I said, the purpose of this is to help the community with transparency, and transparency is so important. I don't think there's enough of it. So I think that if more of us step up and speak up and request and whatever it may be, that we can end up helping each other in the long run. So I will be linking these somewhere on my website, hopefully later this evening, and I'll be able to let you guys know where, okay? So the Georgia Peace Officer Standards and Training Council post has received information may which affect the listed officer certification or application status with the state of Georgia as defined by OCGA 35-8-71. Pursuant to this information, the council has initiated an investigation in order to make an appropriate decision regarding their certifications. Your agency is being notified of this investigation because the following officer was on your agency's roster most recently: Jack Reed Fullenwinder, Deputy Sheriff actively employed in law enforcement, Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. This is the allegation, but it's blank. And then the post investigator assigned to handling this case was Monica Franklin, which is interesting because she also had her hands in the cookie jar when it came to Corporal Mills as well. So what I'm going to do is scroll past all of those because those are the sustained and the allegations. And I kind of just want to get into a little bit with what was said and how it all started. Okay, so here's the incident report. And you can see what the gentleman was being arrested for: fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer. And there's something interesting about this we'll get to later, but fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer, reckless driving, hit and run, duty of driver to stop at or return to the scene, driving while license suspended, obstructing or hindering law enforcement officers. So here we have, on May 27th, 2021, I observed a black Toyota Highlander traveling southbound on Highway 5 with the driver using his cell phone while the vehicle was in motion. And this is written by Officer Scott Staber, I believe, and his badge number is 241. He is with the Holly Springs Police Department. I pulled onto Highway 5, observed the Highlander pull into the left-hand lane, appearing to turn on Tune-Up Road. While sitting at the light, I called my traffic stop out to dispatch, notifying them we're pulling into the old Rite Aid off of Tune-Up Road and the vehicle's tag number. I activated my emergency lights to initiate my traffic stop. When the light changed green, the driver, later identified as Richard Abernathy, slowed down, appearing as if he was going to stop. Abernathy then accelerated at a high rate of speed through the busy Tuna shopping plaza. I notified dispatch that I was in pursuit of Abernathy's vehicle. Abernathy drove behind the Kroger and got back onto Highway 5, going southbound at an extreme high rate of speed. I got behind Abernathy and used due regard while he drove into oncoming traffic, endangering the lives of hundreds of drivers on Highway 5. Abernathy drove in a reckless manner, almost causing multiple collisions with both lanes of travel. I stayed behind Abernathy down Highway 5 until the roundabout at Haney Road when a Woodstock unit joined the pursuit and cut my vehicle off. I stayed behind the Woodstock vehicle as secondary and observed Abernathy turn onto the Innovation Way on the south side of the Chattahoochee Technical College Woodstock campus. Abernathy jumped the curb behind the Chattahoochee Technical College and drove the Highlander into a tree prior to bailing on foot. The Woodstock officer and myself followed in pursuit on foot. Abernathy jumped down a large hill behind Chattahoochee Technical College and ran into the thick briar patches behind the school. Dobbs Road, Parks Circle, Cherokee County Sheriff's and Woodstock Police Department also responded to this incident. Other agencies' cases to reference are Cherokee County Sheriff's Office case S021-007215 and then Woodstock case number 10482. I ran down the hill Chattahoochee Technical College with the Woodstock officer and found our way to the lower parking lot by Dobbs Road, where I remained to hold a perimeter. While holding a perimeter, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department notified everyone that they had gotten in contact with the registered owner, Kimberly Ann Stallings, whom stated she had lent her Highlander to her boyfriend earlier in the day to play golf. Stallings stated her boyfriend was Richard Young Abernathy. I obtained a video from the Chattahoochee Technical College police showing where Abernathy had crashed the Highlander in the rear of the campus. The pictures are attached. Stallings was later transported to the scene by Deputy England of the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. When I spoke with Stallings, she stated she was unaware of Abernathy's suspended license or why he would flee from law enforcement. I showed a picture of the video to Stallings and asked if she could verify who was exiting the Highlander after it hit the tree. Stallings verified the person exiting her Highlander was her boyfriend, Richard Young Abernathy. Abernathy had warrants taken out for the following charges, and then it has the warrant number on. So this is Patrick Davis. On 5/28/21, I responded as backup to Officer Saver at 103 Northampton Drive for a possible wanted person located that was involved in a previous vehicle pursuit on 5/27/2021. When I arrived on scene, Officer Saber informed me that when they arrived at the house, he observed the male, Richard Abernathy, come to the door, lock it, and run off, turning all the lights off in the house. We made multiple attempts to get Richard to come to the door, and he would not answer. So mind you, remember, this is his house too, okay? And they had an arrest warrant. We spoke to one of the neighbors, and they stated that his father, Mike Abernathy, was home and that they would try to call him. The neighbor said it's not like Mike to not answer his phone and that it was very concerning. And at that point, we became concerned for the safety of the father and the mother. We tried multiple times to call Mike, but were unsuccessful. We also tried calling the mother, Pat Abernathy, as she did not answer as well. We became even more concerned about what was going on inside the residence at this point. We were able to make contact with a coworker of Pat, and she stated that she contacted her via text message and confirmed that Pat was also in the home and she was not answering the door. Let's see. Sergeant Conrad was able to obtain a search warrant for the residence. The search warrant was placed on the front steps of the residence, and we knocked on the door and told them we had a search warrant. So they had a felony arrest warrant for this suspect for his own home. And yet they still did not make entry. They applied for and waited for a search warrant. Interesting, because that didn't happen in my house, and it should have. And it was a third party. But anyway, after several more attempts to get someone to answer the door, we made forced entry into the residence through the basement door and entered the home, announcing ourselves. While we were approaching the stairs that led to the upper floor, we made contact with Mike as he came down. Mike stated that everyone was okay inside and that Richard was upstairs laying face down in the living room. Now remember, Mike is his dad. We made our way upstairs to find Richard laying face down in front of the fireplace in the living room with his hands on his head. I placed Richard in his handcuffs behind his back, checked for proper fit, and double locked him. While I was handcuffing him, Richard sustained an injury to his blank. And it's redacted, but when you read through all these documents, I'm going to safely assume that it was his lip, okay? By a Cherokee County Sheriff's deputy. Cherokee Fire was already staged on scene and came into and provided medical care to Richard's lip. Richard was transported to Cherokee Fire Squad 5 to this would be the hospital to be treated for his injury. Officer Burns followed a Squad 5 to the hospital to wait to transport Richard after he was cleared by doctors to the Cherokee ADC. That was Holly Springs. So then we have another Holly Springs. Let's see. The wanted individual, Richard Young, was placed under arrest. At some point during the arrest, Richard sustained a busted, and I'm going to assume lip, due to the injury. Richard was transported to blank for evaluation and treatment before transport to the Cherokee County Adult Detention Center. At blank, which I would assume is the hospital, Richard received, this would be stitches in his lip for the injury, and he was cleared for release. After his release, I handcuffed Richard behind the back, checked the cuffs for it, or double locked the handcuffs. I secured Richard in the rear of my patrol car with the proper application of a seatbelt. At the ADC, I turned Richard over to intake deputies for processing, and I served the arrest warrant Officer Staver secured early in the morning. I inspected the rest of my patrol car before and after transporting Richard to the ADC. So this is a supplemental. I'm not sure like where it starts or why it starts here, but we proceeded further into the residence, saw who appeared to be Richard, proceeded to handcuff Richard while I cleared the 2 bedrooms in the front of the house. I then went back to the living room, realized there was 2 other rooms behind the living room that have not yet been cleared. The master bedroom had a person laying in the bed. Said person was later identified as Patricia, told Patricia to get out of the bed and sit with her husband in the front of the home. Richard sustained an injury to his lip via the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office K-9 deputy, and EMS checked him out. Richard requested transport to the hospital, and Officer Burns met him at, and this is all redacted, a lot of redaction. On the morning of May 28th, I met with Officer Burns and Richard Abernathy to return Richard's red iPhone that was found in the driver's seat of the crashed Highlander from the previous day. Richard confirmed the phone was his and the phone was returned to him so Officer Burns could turn it in as his property at the Cherokee County Adult Detention Center. Richard Abernathy was charged with the following: obstructing and hindering a law enforcement officer. And then for whatever reason, these are all redacted. Nothing further to report. Then we come up and these are images of the vehicle where it wrecked. This is the front of the car and the little tree it wrecked into. It didn't wreck that bad. Anyway, this is our suspect, I suppose. This would be him exiting the vehicle. I'm gonna assume this was him probably in the jail. Doesn't have shoes on. Doesn't really look like the hospital to me, but I mean, yeah, I guess it could be, but I think it's the jail. Huh. All right. So at approximately 2300 on May 27th, 2021, I met with the Alpha units at CCSO at 6175 Hickory Flat Highway in Canton. Jones went over a game plan with his units and us, and we then left the Hickory Flat Village and headed for Richard Abernathy's residence. Upon arrival to Northampton Drive, all patrol cars were parked at the entrance of the neighborhood blacked out. Sergeant Jones and 2 of his deputies staged at the rear of the residence while Corporal Artigas and Officer Burns and I step up to the front door. Corporal Artigas started ringing the doorbell and knocking on the front door, announcing we were there to serve an arrest warrant. Shortly after knocking on the front door, a white shirtless male matching the suspect came to the door and stated he was not coming out. I notified Corporal Artigas that he was who we were looking for. Sergeant Jones stated that he didn't want to destroy the front door to the property to eliminate excessive damage. I notified Corporal Davis and Sergeant Conrad that we had made visual contact with Richard and would like to proceed with a search warrant of the property. Corporal Davis showed up to the residence shortly after, and Sergeant Conrad stayed at the Holly Springs Police Department, starting the process of obtaining a search warrant. During this process, Sergeant Jones pulled his patrol car in the front lawn of the residence and activated his emergency lights. While waiting for the physical copy of the search warrant, Sergeant Jones requested a CCSO K-9 and a Cherokee County EMS ambulance to stand by in case of injury. Upon arrival of Officer Snyder and this physical copy of the search warrant for the residence, Sergeant Jones went over a game plan for entrance of the home. It was communicated multiple times over the loudspeaker that we have obtained a search warrant for the residence and would rather the residents allow us in and prevent damage to the home. A copy of the search warrant was left at the front door. 1 deputy stayed at the front door while all the other officers, deputies on scene, staged at the rear basement door preparing for entry. Sergeant Jones used a sledgehammer to make entry on the basement door. Corporal Artigas had made clear entry and cleared the left side of the basement. Michael Abernathy came down the basement stairs and first stated he didn't want to comply with us. He later stated that Richard Abernathy was at the top of the stairs on his chest with his hands behind his back. We proceeded up the stairs into the kitchen, and Richard Abernathy was not where Michael Abernathy stated he was. Okay. And then it just kind of like cuts off. I don't really know why, but that's pretty interesting, huh? So I'm not going to read like all of each individual's officer narrative because there was a lot of narratives there, but I will read like the paragraphs that are specific to the incident that I'm reading all of this for. Okay. So let's see. This one, Justin Messenger really just arrived for backup, and I think he had went to pull like a pepper ball gun out of his car, and then that's when he was told that they had already made the arrest and whatnot. So the call, he put the pepper gun back and then returned to service. So he didn't really have a whole lot to offer to the situation, thankfully. So this one is going to be Officer Artigas with the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department. And let's see. He says the room was dark with none of the lights on, and the only lights available were the flashlights we were carrying. The person on the floor was Richard, and he appeared to be agitated and upset, arguing and talking loud with the officers who were trying to gain control of his person. Michael came upstairs and stood around trying to approach the location where Richard was being arrested. I asked Michael to have a seat and pulled a chair out, asking him to sit on the chair. Michael complied at first, but got up not long after. I directed my flashlight to where Richard was and noticed that he had some, and I'm going to assume this is blood, on his lip and some on the floor. Richard, still agitated, talking loudly and complaining, I walked to the kitchen, grabbed some paper towels, and returned to help Richard with some of the blood that was coming out from his, I would assume, mouth or lip. Richard refused my help and the paper towel I had brought to him. I inserted the paper towel on his shirt collar in case he decided to use it and stood aside. His mother, Patricia, was talking with one of the Holly Springs Police Department officers, and I heard Patricia stating that she was aware that law enforcement was at her house and that she refused to open the door. When asked why, she stated that her lawyer told her to not open the door. Fire and EMS was called to the residence to examine Richard, and when Fire EMS asked what happened, Richard said he did not know, did not remember. Richard said his lip was hurting, and when EMS personnel asked where it was hurting, Richard was not able to give an exact location. That might not be lip, I'm not sure. Could be his back. They redacted it. He began telling EMS that his blank hurt and he had a blank. EMS began cleaning his, I would say, lip to check the injury, and Richard tried to get them to stop. EMS had to explain a few times what they were doing, and after a few attempts, EMS was able to clean his lips. So they missed that. So yeah, it was his lips. And continued their first assessment. A few minutes later, it was decided that Richard needed to be transported to the hospital by EMS. After Richard left the residence, I returned to my patrol car, secured my rifle, and a few moments later left the residence returning to service. Notice how this does not say anything about what caused the injury. Okay. So then we go down here and we have another Cherokee County officer. I'm just not even going to try to pronounce some of these names because I don't want to butcher them respectfully. And I'm going to scroll through. You guys are going to be welcome to be able to read these yourselves. I exited the residence through the basement door, did not sustain any injury during the event. I was informed Richard was transported to blank. Here we have, I took position at the entrance of a hallway and provided cover for officers clearing the residence. I heard a voice respond to my announcement from the living area. I saw officers in the living room area taking a male into custody by applying handcuffs while he was laying on the floor. This subject was later identified as Richard Abernathy. I saw Richard attempt to get up from a prone position while being handcuffed. He did this by taking his right hand and placing it on the ground and raising his body up off the ground. I saw Deputy Fullenwander restrain him by placing his foot on Richard and forcing him to the ground. So the context of that, I feel like it matters. So just like pay attention to the way that this officer wrote that. Because he made it sound like, you know, the guy wasn't complying and the suspect wasn't complying, and so yeah. Then we have this. Who is this? This is Officer Shauna Murphy with the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department. Let's see what she says. Didn't really have a lot to offer. So y'all can read through her narrative as well. The team then moved upstairs. So who's this? This is Jack. The team then moved upstairs where the next level was cleared. Richard was located in the living room laying face down on his stomach. Holly Springs Police Department Corporal Davis and I approached his location while telling him to stay on the ground and not to move. I oriented my taser at his back as we approached. My taser was not arced or deployed, and only the laser dots were oriented at him. Holly Springs Police Department, Corporal Davis placed one handcuff on Richard. Richard then quickly moved like he was going to roll over, and he did not stay face down on his stomach like ordered. Due to his history of fleeing and the potential for him to attempt it again, I wanted to make sure that he stayed down while the handcuffs were applied. I used my right foot to press down on his shoulder blades. I did not forcefully apply pressure, stomp him, or strike him. When I did this, his face hit the hardwood floors and busted his lip. So read that, okay? If you didn't forcefully apply pressure or stomp him or strike him, there would not have been enough force for his face to hit a hardwood floor and bust his lip, okay? He started to bleed from his lip and was ordered by Holly Springs Police Department, Corporal Davis, and I to stay down and not attempt to get up. He complied and was quickly and safely secured in handcuffs, and then Richard began to yell at us and accused me of using steel-toe boots to kick his blank. I opted not to utilize my taser as it was too close of proximity to Corporal Davis, and I did not want to risk him being tased. Fire EMS came. Again, they took him to the hospital. This is the Uniform Patrol Division zone assignment log where it shows the officers that were there. So this is interesting too, because I don't understand it. Maybe somebody can help me, but this is the use of force log or sheet where I would assume officers have to fill this in anytime they use officer or use of force during an incident. And it looks like he filled this in. This one was Jack prepared for Richard. Subject injured, yes. Medical treatment for the offender, yes. And then it says, please refer to IA, and then it has the IA number, IA investigation into possible use of force violation. I don't know who this is, but somebody signed off on it and said level of force used was reasonable. So this one said, I heard a voice respond to my announcement from the living area. I saw officers in the living room area taking a male into custody by applying handcuffs while he was laying on the floor. The subject was later identified as Richard Abernathy. I saw Richard attempt to get up from a prone position while being handcuffed. He did this by taking his right hand and placing it on the ground and raising his body up off the ground. I saw Deputy Fullenwander restrain him by placing his foot on Richard and forcing him to the ground. I feel like this is important because this is not what happened. So it's like, why did they write that this guy was essentially not complying and trying to get up? But y'all decide. But yeah, that's not what happened. Anyway, I continued clearing the rooms on the main level of the residence. EMS came and they took him. Okay, so this is Cody Jones, right? And this is what he says. Prior to making entry, I ran a criminal history on Richard. He was not a convicted felon, had no weapons charges, and other than fleeing and eluding and a DUI, had a relatively minor rap sheet. I verified with neighbors about any firearms they knew were in his home or the Abernathys were known to carry or possess. Everyone stated the same thing. They did not know of any weapons inside of the home. I consider the totality of the circumstances, the risk versus the reward for apprehension of the suspect, and the safety for all officers involved, and the decision was made to execute the warrant. I relayed this to the team clearing the home. The team ascended to the stairs and they approached the door. I heard what sounded like running on hardwood floors on the main level of the home, and the team made it upstairs, and I heard them giving loud verbal commands to someone. When I arrived upstairs, Corporal Fullenwinder and Corporal Davis had Richard in handcuffs. I approached Richard and witnessed he was bleeding from a cut on his bottom lip. He was exclaiming, "They kicked me." Since fire was already on scene, I summoned them to come inside and treat Richard's injured lip. I asked Corporal Fullenwinder what happened, and he told me Richard attempted to get up off the ground by pushing himself up. He stated they were attempting to handcuff Richard and he was being non-compliant. Corporal Fullenwinder told me he used his foot and applied pressure to Richard's shoulder, forcing Richard back to the floor to gain compliance. Fire treated Richard at the scene, and Richard requested to go to the hospital. HSPD followed fire to the hospital for treatment, and the investigation was turned over to HSPD. And that was Sergeant Jones who wrote that. And we have pictures. This is what I would assume a bloody paper towel on the floor from his injury. This is a bloody paper towel on the floor from his injury as well. Here it is again. There's a couple of them. And this is just like a weed tray, I guess. A marijuana tray. Looks like some marijuana accessories. It says Richard's room. Okay. We have the door where they made entry. This is the suspect, and they have redacted his face so that we cannot see the injury. More bloody paper towels. Why did they send me so much double? They're gonna make me pay for it. Y'all doubled the whole thing. No wonder it takes so long. Y'all sending me double files. Here is a picture of his boots, Jack's boots that he's accused of kicking him with. The front of them. It's kind of yucky looking. Okay. All right. Well, let's read this letter real quick. On June 1st, 2021, I was contacted by Lieutenant Mike Hills and asked to come by his office. When I arrived, he explained a few of his officers had concerns about the actions of Corporal Jack Fullenwinder. He explained that Corporal Fullenwinder and other sheriff's office assisted the Holly Springs police with the search warrant on May 27, 2021. Lieutenant Hells told me during the arrest, Corporal Fullenwinder caused an injury to Mike Abernathy. The officer alleges that while Abernathy was on the ground being handcuffed by Corporal Davis, Corporal Fullenwinder kicked Abernathy, causing injury to his lip. Lieutenant Hells allowed me to watch the body cam video from Officer Staber. In the video, I can see Abernathy lying prone out on the floor with an officer controlling his right arm. Corporal Fullenwinder is standing to the left of Abernathy, and you can see him place his right foot on Abernathy's left shoulder blade, pushing him to the ground. During this, Abernathy sustains an injury to his lip, and it is unclear exactly what caused the injury. One of the 3 Holly Springs Police Department's officers approached Lieutenant Hells on Friday, May 28, 2021, and told him about the incident. They feel that the actions of Corporal Fullenwinder were uncalled for. I asked Lieutenant Hells for a copy of the video, and he said he would get it to me. This from Major Smith. Final report of Internal Affairs investigation. On June 3rd, 2021, Captain P. Turcott turned over an allegation of misconduct against Corporal Jack Fullenwinder. Okay, so Captain Turcott is the one that wrote that little note. Captain D. Higgins conducted this investigation and spoke with numerous Holly Springs Police Department officers, along with Deputy Caporino and Corporal Fullenwinder. All audio, video, and reports pertaining to this incident were reviewed, and the details of this investigation are outlined in the attached IA case report. The findings of the investigation are as follows. Cherokee Sheriff's Office Policy 010302 F20 states, employees shall only use the force that is reasonably necessary under the circumstances to achieve lawful agency objectives. The use of physical force shall be restrained to that amount of force which is reasonable and necessary to effect a lawful arrest, overcome resistance, or capture a person who has escaped from custody or in defense of self or others. Corporal Fullenwinder's force was unreasonable and unnecessary. Richard Abernathy was lying in the living room of his parents' home and was completely compliant with the arresting officers on the scene. During the attempted handcuffing of Richard by the Holly Springs police officer, Corporal Fullenwinder stated he struck him in the upper back area because he thought he was getting up. However, in reviewing the video, Mr. Abernathy's movement on the ground was likely caused by the arresting officers securing his arms. Furthermore, after the strike by Corporal Fullenwinder to Richard's torso, Corporal Fullenwinder failed to follow up the force with assisting with the arrest. The allegation of unreasonable and unnecessary force is sustained. So, in other words, he kicked him, and he tried to claim that he thought he was getting up. So normally when you're trying to help another officer who is restraining a suspect, you would do what you need to do and help them get him in handcuffs. However, what Jack did was he kicked him in the guy's face, smacked the floor with the force, busted his lip. He required stitches, but then he just stood there. So he kicked him and just, went about his business. This is the letter to post. Corporal Jack Fullenwinder is an employee of the Cherokee Sheriff's Office. He's assigned to the agency's K-9 unit with the Special Operations Division. On May 28, 2021, Corporal Fullenwinder assisted the Holly Springs Police Department with the service of nonviolent felony arrest warrants against Richard Abernathy. Upon arrival at the arrestee's home, the Holly Springs Police Department observed Richard in the house, but he turned off the lights, refused to exit the residence, and turned himself over to law enforcement. After an extended period of time, the Holly Springs Police Department obtained a search warrant to legally enter the home and effect the arrest of Richard. So Holly Springs had to get an arrest warrant to effect the arrest of this gentleman at his, now parents' house, but he clearly had a room there, for that to be legal. But at least Holly Springs knows how to do their job for the most part, because Cherokee County, apparently they don't need warrants. They just will break into your house. Ask me how I know that. And then take you to jail for asking for a warrant that they don't have. Once entry was made, Richard was found lying on the living room floor just in front of the fireplace. Richard was being compliant at this time, had both of his hands on the top of his head while he was lying face down on his stomach. During the attempted handcuffing of Richard by a Holly Springs police officer, Corporal Fullenwinder struck Richard in the upper back with his right foot. Corporal Fullenwinder advised he thought Richard was trying to get up. However, in reviewing the video, Richard's movement on the ground was caused by the arresting officer securing his arms. Furthermore, after the strike by Corporal Fullenwinder to Richard's torso, Corporal Fullenwinder failed to follow up with the force with assisting with the arrest. Corporal Fullenwinder's use of force action was unreasonable and unnecessary. He was found to be in violation of the Cherokee Sheriff's Office use of force policy, and the accusation was sustained. Corporal Fullenwinder was demoted from the position of corporal to the rank of deputy sheriff, and he was transferred out of the K-9 unit and suspended for 16 hours. These disciplinary actions took place on June 15th, 2021, and were immediate. So he got 2 days off. Now let's read the actual Georgia law that applies here. Under OCGA 16-5-24, for aggravated battery, a person commits this offense when he or she maliciously causes bodily harm to another by depriving him or her of a member of his or her body, by rendering a member of his or her body useless, or by seriously disfiguring his or her body or a member thereof. The report explicitly states that Richard Abernathy sustained an injury to his body from this kick while prone on the floor. When an officer uses completely unauthorized, unnecessary physical force via a stomp or a kick, depending on who you ask, onto a restrained face-down suspect causing injury, that moves past a policy violation. That warrants a criminal look, but there were no criminal charges filed here. So let's cross-reference the Holly Springs Police Department side of the paperwork with, if we were to scroll down to Corporal Patrick Davis's supplemental report from that night. He notes that when they made forced entry, Richard was face down in front of the fireplace with his hands on his head, right? So Corporal Davis writes, while I was handcuffing him, Richard sustained an injury by a Cherokee County Sheriff's deputy. Cherokee Fire had to be staged on scene to provide immediate medical care, and Abernathy had to be transported via fire squad to the hospital to get treatment for those injuries. Then you had Officer Connor Burns, whose report added that Abernathy actually received medical treatment at the hospital for his injuries before he could be cleared to go to the jail, right? This was an incident where local Holly Springs officers were so uncomfortable with a Cherokee County deputy's actions that Lieutenant Mike Hills of the Holly Springs Police Department personally contacted the sheriff's office to flag the misconduct after reviewing the body camera footage. When the system protects its own with minor internal suspensions and demotions instead of holding them to the exact same criminal standards as the rest of this community, accountability fails. We're going to keep digging and we are going to keep putting these documents on the screen and letting the community know that we care about transparency and we are here to share it because we believe that law enforcement should be held to a higher standard than the rest of us, not a lower one. And if you or I would have been charged with aggravated battery, why weren't they? Why wasn't he? Why wasn't Corporal Mills charged with an open container and or DUI less safe? Why didn't the officer that saw Corporal Mills drinking, instead of calling his lieutenant, call for backup and find him if he knew he was drinking and driving? I mean, I don't know if it's poor judgment, you know, or if it's selective enforcement, because especially lately, we saw a couple officers that were arrested and had career changing consequences for some of these allegations. But you're going to see when I report soon, there's another officer who had the same thing, who did the same thing. But because maybe her excuse was a little bit different, you know, I don't know. We don't have the transparency on these other ones and likely won't until someone files open records after their cases are shut. But, you know, it's concerning. It really is because some people very clearly are treated differently. And I don't know why we're so desperate for law enforcement that we're keeping an officer who kicked somebody because he felt like it, essentially, and busted his lip. I don't know. I wanted to share this. I said I would share this. I did file open records for his body camera. I have not received that yet. When I do, and I actually might file for the other officers because I hear that the angle is better. This has 97 pages. Some of them are a double, but like I said, I'm going to upload them onto my website. And if I've done it by the time this airs this evening, I will make sure that the link is included so that you guys can go and get it. Also, the cost of open records are expensive. You know, Cherokee County charges us out the butt for whatever reason. So if anybody feels like buying me coffee for those, there's a link on that page as well. But yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think he should have got charged? Do you think it should have been a criminal referral? Or do you think it's acceptable that he just kicks people, but he feels like it, but then he lied about it? So in his report, he clearly said he didn't, he said he pushed him down with his foot, but he even said that he didn't use any force to do it. And he, in quote, it's the in quote for me, as he's mocking the allegation. I think that's what pisses me off. He knew damn well that he kicked him and then stood there. So yeah. Anyway, sorry it took so long to make this video, but enjoy it. Leave your comments, share it with your friends. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Excuse everything messy about me today. I got up, I went to the gym, I worked out, I got changed because I was going to take my kid to the pool, but his brother decided to take him, so we're good to go, but I got to go to the grocery store in a few minutes. I really just wanted to touch on these charges that I got the other day because I know I posted like a quick update and didn't go into any detail, but I'm really ticked off about it. Considering the fact that it has been 8 months since I was originally charged by Officer Mills for obstruction. And if y'all remember, he says that I obstructed him because it says the accused continued to hinder Corporal Mills by telling occupants in the house to remain in the house after Corporal Mills told occupants to exit. The accused was advised she would be arrested for obstruction, yet she continued to stand in the way and hinder Corporal Mills while she called 911 to comply, right? So it sat there in state court for 8 months with the solicitor who, you know, is a character all in of himself. We'll go into him like a whole another time, but I think he took a look at this and was like, you know what? For the most part, an obstruction charge has to be physical. And her saying something is not going to stick. So I got to come up with something to try to throw at her. And if this is not like malicious prosecution. Like, I don't know what is, because this is straight bullshit. But what he charged me with was, let me go back. Okay. So he said, or it says, I, Todd Hayes, Solicitor General of Cherokee County, in the name and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia, do hereby charge and accuse Natasha Lee Lopez with a misdemeanor for that the said accused in Cherokee County, Georgia, on August 30th, did unlawfully then and there commit the offense of obstruction of an officer by knowingly and willfully obstructing Deputy Charles Mills, a law enforcement officer, in the lawful discharge of his official duties by failing to follow his lawful commands to remain on the porch during an active investigation in violation of OCGA 16-10-24, contrary to the laws of this state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. And then the second count, he said that did unlawfully then and there commit the offense of obstruction of an officer by knowingly and willfully obstructing Deputy Charles Mills, law enforcement officer, in the lawful discharge of his official duties by failing to follow his lawful commands to exit a residence in violation of OCGA 16-10-24, contrary to the laws of the state, the good order, peace, and... I love how he said a resident. He didn't put in there her resident, or the fact that he went in it without a fucking search warrant or exigency. I don't know. Are you letting people show up to your house without probable cause or exigency or whatever they might need and just go into your house? I don't understand it. Like, it infuriates me. My home was not the scene of a crime. It was not under investigation. It was by chance that my son even happened to be there for him to be able to obtain an arrest warrant. He did not have a search warrant to be at my home. He didn't even have a search warrant to be on my property once I revoked the right for him to be there and told him to leave and go get the right warrants. He didn't even get the right warrants. He got an arrest warrant for my son, and I was kind enough and thought I was following, you know, a lawful command by going and retrieving my son and letting him be arrested. But to charge me, I'm sorry, but you never detained me. You never told me I was detained. Nobody ever said anything about no active investigation. You can't just show up on my property and tell me what to do without a warrant or a crime that's been committed there, because none of that happened. And yeah, I'm really mad about it, because how are you going to change the charge completely and then turn around and charge me twice? Because Cherokee County likes to do that. They will double charge you. If you look at my son's charges, he's charged with felony fleeing and eluding ×2. I'm charged with this ×2. I just sat through another case in state court there for a kid that was charged with speeding twice, because he was charged with, the first one was 103 and a 70, and the other one was just like a speeding, and his attorney took it to jury trial. You have to take speeding tickets to jury trial in Cherokee because they wanted to give him jail time, and there was no proof that this kid was going 103 and 70. It was just officer's word. So they took it to jury trial, and he was found not guilty of the 103 and a 70, but the jury found him guilty of a regular speeding ticket. A regular speeding ticket meaning, had he got this citation on the side of the road, he would have just paid a fine, got no points on his license, wouldn't even have to show up for court, and he would have went about his way. But because he evoked his right to a jury trial, it was like he was being punished for doing that, because when they found him not guilty of the 103 but guilty of speeding, y'all know what this judge gave him? Our state court judge gave him a day in jail, a year of probation, no alcohol or drug consumption. Mind you, the charge had nothing to do with alcohol or drugs. He's got to submit to random drug tests when they call him. He has to pay $600 in fines, $100 a month to probation and drug testing for the next year, 40 hours community service, and 2 driving classes for a regular speeding ticket. Okay? And so I would assume that's what they're trying to do here, hoping that I'll plea down and you know, take a plea on one of them and blah, blah, blah. I'm not. Because your officer broke into my house without a warrant and without consent. You broke in on my kids. You broke in on my dogs. You violated me, my family, my rights. Like, I'm not taking a plea. I will take that all the way. I will take it to jury trial. I will take it to appeals all the way to fucking Supreme Court if that's what I have to do. Because I won't take a plea on it. And I feel like it really goes to show how dirty it is in this county. Because for a solicitor to look at this and not be like, this is bullshit, and just throw it to the side and actually just, you know, fabricate something in order to charge me, either because he hates me or because he's friends with the sheriff's department. I don't know what the reason is, but he did it. It's just disgusting. It really is. It's really disgusting. So now, you know, I've got to go and, oh, and get this. I don't know if some of y'all remember when James White did an episode on his YouTube channel, Southern Draw Law, about the school psychologist and my son, my 9-year-old, the one that was completely traumatized by them. That like whole conversation between my son and the psychologist had nothing to do with me, right? Besides the fact that my son was like, the police broke into my mom's house and she's going to sue them. But like, as far as I know, that's all that, you know, was said to me according to like the recorded portion or whatever. So when they filed this formal accusation, the first sheet has like a whole list of like their state witnesses, and it's like a whole bunch of random cops. Half of them were here, half of them weren't. I would assume the other half like had something to do with like the fleeing and eluding. But then like the regular people witnesses is my oldest son, his girlfriend, the school psychologist, and my 9-year-old son. Can somebody explain to me, and I feel like that's just a bully move, like you're just trying to, again, get me to take a plea so that I don't, you know, put my son through having to get on a stand and try, like, you're disgusting. You're disgusting. Because what is my now 10-year-old, what is he going to give you? You know what you're going to accomplish? More trauma. You're going to traumatize him. And if anything, it's just going to hurt you, because he's going to tell you exactly what your police officer did. And he's going to tell you how much he doesn't like them and what he witnessed and how he's a bad man, just like he said it on body cam. So, you know, with everything being videotaped as it is from multiple angles, I don't even know why you would put my 9-year-old son down if it wasn't just like a passive aggressive, like chest move, threat towards me. And then the school psychologist, what the fuck does she have to do? And you left out 2 adults that were standing there with us that could have been whatever kind of witnesses. You left them out. But you put my 9-year-old son and a school psychologist on there? Why is that? Could it be because you saw how upset I was about that situation? How you guys traumatized him and then re-traumatized him because you're fucking sick? Probably. And I think this just goes to show, and it's, if anything, it's just going to hurt you more, because it's going to show the community and it's going to show the citizens that this is how gross you are. This is how low you're willing to stoop in order to try to get whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish from this. But yeah, this is what I'm dealing with. And this is the fight that I'll have to fight before I will get any sort of justice. But understand that it's not just me in this county that deals with this. As I've come out and come forward, I've had so many people who have messaged me and told me their own stories, and I've shared a lot of those on social media. It's really bad. It's really deep. And I'm just going to continue to make videos, and I'm going to continue to take other people's videos that they share with me, and I'm going to continue to expose until the citizens start holding those elected officials accountable and start voting for somebody else and get them out of office, because this is not okay. It's really not. I have to, I'm going to make another episode or YouTube video at some point. There was an officer from Cherokee County who had went on one of my Facebook posts, and one of these ones that like went viral, and there were, of course, there were people who would say nasty things here and there, and anytime they would, I would click on the likes to like